I want to tell you a story about ginger. Not the kind of story they teach you in school. Not a market report. Not an export statistics. A story about what happens when a country grows something beautiful. Something the whole world wants and still end up with nothing. Because Nigeria has been here before. We know the story. We just never expected it to happen to our food. They took the oil. Now they're coming for the food. This is the story of Nigerian ginger and what it tells us about who really controls this country. Not long ago, within living memory, Nigeria was the second largest producer of ginger in the entire world. Second in the world. Kaduna State alone supplied over 70% of the country's entire harvest. Southern Kaduna, the communities there, Kacha, Kaura, Jaba, Zagon Kataf, Sanga. Ginger was not just a crop. It was school fees. It was medicine. It was the thing a father pointed to when his child asked, how will we survive? Nigerian ginger was not ordinary ginger. Ask any buyer in Europe, in the Middle East, in North America. Nigerian ginger has a pungency, an oil content, an aroma that farmers in other countries cannot replicate. It was prized, sought after, one of the most valued agricultural products on the global market. And Nigeria was growing it in abundance in communities that had been growing it for generations. Then came 2023, a fungi disease called Prosiflicularia Zingiberis, whatever, swept through Kaduna, Plateau, and Nasarawa. It did not arrive slowly. It did not give farmers time to respond. It wiped out 95% of Nigeria's ginger's harvest. 95%. Export fell by 74% almost overnight. A bag of ginger that sold for 50,000 shoot to 800,000. Farmers who has planted, borrowed, invested, woke up to feed of rot and debts they could not pay. A farmer named Ibrahim Sabo, a farmer leader in Kaduna, said this, and I want you to hear his words. We lost the taste of our land. The world knows Nigerian ginger for its strength. Now, they don't even ask for us in the market. Another farmer, Adamu Masha, said this. Many of us were left with nothing. We lost so much. And when support didn't come as promised, some farmers gave up entirely. Others quit because of insecurity and threats for kidnappers and bandits. The federal government released a 1 billion naira recovery fund. Farmers and agricultural stakeholders said it barely touched the surface of what was needed. By 2025, seed that used to cost 250,000 per bag now cost 800,000 to 900,000. Farmers cannot afford to replant. Many have switched to maize and soya beans. Maize and soya beans that is subsidized GMO. Connect the dots, guys. Nigeria, once second in the world, now lag behind India, China, and even regional competitors like Ghana and Burkina Faso in ginger exports. In 2 years, gone. In 2 years. The question nobody in power is asking. Now, I am not a journalist, but I follow evidence and I ask questions. And the question I am asking today is this. How does a disease wipe out 95% of a crop that Nigerian farmers have been growing for generations in one season? Nigerian farmers did not just start growing ginger yesterday. They have been growing these crops across the same soil, through rain, through drought, through political turbulence for decades. The crop survived all of that. Then, in the same period that foreign agricultural interests are reshaping Nigerian seeds law, pushing commercial seeds onto Nigerian farmers, restructuring the entire agricultural framework of this country, the ginger crop collapsed. I am not telling you I know who did this. I am telling you, the people on the ground, the farmers, the communities, the people who lost everything are asking a question that the Nigerian government has not answered. In Kaduna communities, a public debate about this crisis, farmers and local voices have raised a specific allegation that foreign aid organizations and donor agencies introduced compromised seeds that had been weakened or modified into Nigerians' ginger farming communities, and that those seeds created the condition for the blight to spread and destroy the crop at the scale it did. That allegation has not been proven. But here is what I need you to understand. When ordinary Nigerians raise this question like this, they are not believed. Their voices are dismissed as conspiracy theory. The institution that should investigate on their behalf, the government, the regulatory bodies, the agricultural agencies, are the same institution that have been receiving funding and policy direction from the very foreign organization being questioned. When the government is captured and the institutions are captured, the ordinary Nigerian has no voice, no platform, no court of appeal. That is the truth of what we are dealing with. And it is sad. Let's look at the structure behind the collapse. Because even before the plight, even when Nigerian ginger was thriving, there was a problem hiding inside the sources. Nigeria was growing the ginger. Nigeria was harvesting the ginger. Nigeria was exporting the ginger. And then what? Then foreign companies in Europe, in Asia, in North America took that raw Nigerian ginger and processed it into ginger oil, into ginger powder, into pharmaceutical grade ginger extracts, into premium health drink, cosmetics, and medicine sold globally at enormous prices. And here is the number that should make every Nigerian stop. 1 metric ton of ginger oil processed from 25 tons of fresh Nigerian ginger generates a profit 35 times greater than the raw dried ginger Nigeria sells. 35 times. Nigeria grows it, Nigeria exports it raw. Someone else processed it, someone else captured 35% the value. And the finished products, the oil, the extracts, the supplements, get sold back to the world at a price Nigerian farmers will never see. Does that sound familiar? It should. Because this is exactly what happened with our crude oil. Nigeria pumped oil from its own ground for decades, exported it raw, imported refined petroleum products back at global price, paid foreign companies to do what Nigeria had the capacity to do for itself. The Dangote refinery was built specifically to break that cycle. And you have seen what happened the moment it threatens to break it. Now look at ginger. Look at agriculture. Look at the seed law being written. Look at who is funding the rewriting. They took the oil. They are coming for the food. The bigger architecture is not accidental. This is a system. Nigeria has 80 million acres of agricultural land. 60% of it uncultivated. Nigeria grows some of the most prized agricultural products in the world. Ginger, sesame, cocoa, palm oil, cassava. Nigeria has the soil, the climate, the farming knowledge to feed itself and export to the world. But Nigeria does not control the processing, does not control the seed, does not control the policy framework that determines how its farmers grow, what they grow, and who they sell to. Foreign-funded organization has spent 2 decades reshaping Nigeria's agricultural law, pushing commercial seed, restructuring the regulatory environment, training people inside Nigerian Government Institute to advocate for their agenda. And when a crop like ginger collapses, the same foreign network that helped dismantle Nigerian agricultural sovereignty are the ones who arrive with aid, with support, with new seed, new framework, new dependency. You do not need to own the land to own the food system. You just need to own the seed, own the process, own the policy, and then wait. The farmers of Southern Kaduna did not fail Nigeria. They grew one of the finest agricultural products in the world for generations, with minimal government support, through insecurity, through neglect, through a government that has never properly invested in the communities that fed this nation. And when the crisis came, a crisis many of them believed was not entirely natural. They had no voice, no institutional champion, no investigation, a 1 billion naira gesture in the face of a multi-billion naira catastrophe. This is what capture governance look like. Not soldier at the gates, not a dramatic announce, just silence, just institutions that look away, just policies written in foreign boardrooms, implemented by people with foreign funding, producing outcomes that benefit everyone except the Nigerian farmer standing in the field that used to be good. We did this with oil for 60 years. Are we about to do it again with our food? Because if we lost the food, if the seeds are no longer ours, if the land is no longer ours, if the policy is no longer ours, there is no Dangote refinery equivalent that can save us from that. Food is the last sovereignty. And the people who understand global power knows that. The question is whether Nigerians are going to understand it before it's too late. Share this video. Tag a Nigerian farmer. Tag your representatives. Ask them where is the investigation. And our prayers be with our Kaduna and our northern and southern, all our farmers. We pray that they hold strong before the storm is over.